You've been feeling drained, anxious, worse about yourself after spending time with certain people, and you keep telling yourself it's normal, that all friendships have difficult moments, that maybe you're being too sensitive. But deep down, you know the truth. Some of these friendships aren't just difficult, they're toxic. And they're quietly destroying your mental health, your confidence, and your peace. Toxic friendships don't always look dramatic. There's no obvious villain, no clear moment of betrayal, just a slow, steady drain on your energy and self-worth that you've been tolerating because you don't want to be mean or give up on people. But there's a difference between supporting a friend through hard times and being trapped in a relationship that consistently harms you. The uncomfortable reality: not all friendships are worth keeping. Some people, no matter how long you've known them or how much history you share, are actively making your life worse. They drain your energy, undermine your confidence, violate your boundaries, and leave you feeling worse after every interaction. And you've been accepting this because you value loyalty, because you don't want confrontation, because cutting people off feels cruel. But protecting yourself isn't cruel. Removing toxic influences from your life isn't giving up on people. It's choosing yourself. It's recognizing that your mental health, peace, and well-being matter more than maintaining relationships that consistently harm you. It's understanding that some people aren't meant to stay in your life, and that's okay. Machiavelli understood that leaders needed to remove advisors who consistently undermined their rule, regardless of history or loyalty. That maintaining harmful relationships out of obligation was weakness, not virtue. That protecting your position sometimes required cutting ties with people who are actively damaging it. Your life deserves the same protective boundaries. This video will show you 7 clear signs that you need to cut toxic friends from your life immediately, and exactly how to do it without drama, guilt, or unnecessary confrontation. Not small issues you can work through, clear patterns that indicate this friendship is harming you and needs to end. Now, I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I protect my peace. Machiavelli's principle of protective boundaries. Machiavelli observed that wise leaders maintained only relationships that served their well-being and removed those that consistently undermined it. That loyalty to harmful people was self-betrayal. That protecting oneself from toxic influences was necessary for maintaining power and peace. Your friendships should add to your life, not subtract from it. 1. They celebrate your failures and minimize your successes. The sign: when you fail, struggle, or experience setbacks, they're oddly energized, asking questions, wanting details, seeming almost pleased. But when you succeed or experience good things, they're dismissive, change the subject, or find ways to minimize your achievement. This reveals they're more comfortable with you struggling than thriving. Real friends celebrate your wins and support you through losses. Toxic friends do the opposite. They're threatened by your success and validated by your failure. They need you to be less successful than them to feel good about themselves. Your struggles make them feel superior. Your successes make them feel inadequate. Watch their energy shift between your good news and bad news. Do they lean in when you're struggling, but pull back when you're succeeding? Do they ask follow-up questions about problems, but dismiss achievements quickly? This pattern reveals they don't actually want the best for you. They want you at a level that doesn't threaten their ego. How to cut them without drama? First, Recognize this pattern clearly. Don't make excuses. They're just having a hard time. Face the truth that this person is more comfortable with your failure than your success. Second, create distance gradually. Reduce contact, share less personal information, become less available. You don't need dramatic announcement, just steady withdrawal. Third, if they ask why you're distant, be honest but brief. I've noticed our friendship doesn't feel supportive anymore. I need relationships that celebrate my wins and support my struggles equally. Fourth, hold the boundary when they try to pull you back in. Toxic friends often escalate connection attempts when they feel you withdrawing. Stay firm in your protective distance. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. My peace matters more than their comfort. 2. Every interaction leaves you feeling worse about yourself. The sign. After spending time with them, whether in person, on phone, or through messages, you consistently feel worse. More anxious, less confident, questioning yourself, depleted. This isn't occasional, it's the pattern. Nearly every interaction leaves you feeling drained or bad about yourself, rather than energized or good. Healthy friendships should generally leave you feeling better, supported, understood, energized, valued. Occasional difficult conversations are normal, but if the majority of interactions leave you feeling worse, that's not friendship. That's toxicity. Your nervous system is telling you this person is harmful to you. Pay attention to how you feel after interactions with different friends. Do you feel lighter or heavier? More confident or more insecure? Energized or drained? Your emotional state after spending time with someone reveals whether that relationship is healthy or harmful for you. How to cut them without drama. First, trust what your body and emotions are telling you. If you consistently feel worse after interacting with someone, that's sufficient reason to end the friendship. You don't need to justify it further. Second, reduce contact using natural excuses initially. Busy with work, family obligations, personal projects. Create space to confirm the pattern before making it permanent. Third, if the space confirms you feel better without them, make the distance permanent. Stop initiating contact. Respond minimally when they reach out. Let the friendship naturally fade through your withdrawal. Fourth, if they demand explanation, keep it simple. I've realized this friendship isn't healthy for me anymore. I need space. You don't owe detailed explanation or negotiation. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I choose relationships that honor me. 3. They violate your boundaries repeatedly. After being told the sign. You've communicated boundaries. What you're not comfortable with, what you need, what doesn't work for you. They agree or apologize, then violate those same boundaries again and again. The pattern shows they heard your boundaries but don't respect them. They prioritize their wants over your clearly stated needs. One boundary violation might be mistake. Repeated violations after clear communication is disrespect. It shows they understand your boundaries, but choose to violate them, because what they want matters more to them than what you need. This is fundamental disrespect that won't change. Notice the pattern between stating boundaries and their behavior. Do they respect boundaries briefly then revert? Do they apologize but repeat the same violations? This cycle reveals they're managing your expectations without actually changing their behavior. How to cut them without drama. First, recognize that repeated boundary violations despite clear communication means this person doesn't respect you. Stop hoping they'll change. They've shown they won't. Second, stop explaining or restating boundaries. You've communicated them. They've chosen to ignore them. Further explanation won't help. It just gives them opportunity to manipulate. Third, create firm distance without announcement. When they violate boundaries, end the interaction immediately. Leave, hang up, stop responding. Enforce through action, not words. Fourth, when they ask about the distance, state clearly, I've communicated my boundaries multiple times. You continue violating them. I can't maintain friendship with someone who doesn't respect my boundaries. Then end the conversation. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I protect my peace. 4. They share your private information or use it against you. The sign, information you shared in confidence gets repeated to others. Private struggles you discussed become gossip. Vulnerabilities you revealed get used against you in arguments or shared with people who didn't need to know. This betrayal of trust reveals they value gossip or winning arguments more than protecting your privacy. Trust is foundation of friendship. When someone repeatedly violates your trust by sharing private information or weaponizing your vulnerabilities, they're showing you they can't be trusted. And friendship without trust isn't friendship. It's dangerous connection that will continue harming you. Pay attention to how information you share gets handled. Do you hear your private details from other people? Do your vulnerabilities get thrown back at you during conflicts? If yes, this person is not safe for you. How to cut them without drama. First, stop sharing anything personal immediately. No more vulnerable conversations, no more private information. Protect yourself by giving them nothing more to misuse. Second, create distance through reduced contact. You don't need confrontation, just steady withdrawal from someone who's proven they can't be trusted with your privacy. Third, if mutual friends ask about the distance, you can be honest without details. They violated my trust repeatedly. I can't maintain friendship with someone who shares private information or uses vulnerabilities against me. Fourth, hold firm if they try to repair. Trust broken repeatedly is trust destroyed. You're not obligated to give more chances to someone who's already proven they don't protect what you share with them. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. My peace matters more than their comfort. 5. The friendship is entirely one-directional. The sign. You initiate all contact. You provide all emotional support. You accommodate their schedule, their needs, their preferences. But when you need support, they're unavailable. When you suggest plans, they're busy. The friendship only exists because you maintain it. If you stopped reaching out, it would disappear entirely. Healthy friendships involve mutual effort. Both people initiate, support, accommodate. But toxic friendships are one-directional. You give everything. They take everything, and there's no reciprocity. They've trained you to be the giver while they remain the taker. Test this by stopping your initiation. If you stopped reaching out, would they notice? Would they contact you? Or would the friendship just fade because they never actually put in effort? If it's the latter, you don't have a friend. You have someone exploiting your friendship without reciprocating. How to cut them without drama? First, simply stop initiating. Don't announce it. Don't explain it. Just stop being the one who always reaches out, plans things, maintains contact. Second, if they notice and reach out asking why you've been distant, be honest. I've realized I'm the only one maintaining this friendship. I need relationships where both people put in effort. Third, if they promise to change but don't actually change behavior, just temporarily increase contact before reverting, recognize its manipulation. Accept that they won't become reciprocal and let the friendship end. Fourth, if they never notice or reach out when you stop initiating, you have your answer about how much you actually matter to them. Let the friendship naturally end through your withdrawal. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I choose relationships that honor me. 6. They're only around during your success or when they need something. The sign, they're present when you're doing well, successful, socially active, able to provide them with opportunities or connections. But when you're struggling, broke, or can't offer them anything, they disappear. Or they only appear when they need something, favor, help, support, then vanish again until their next need. This transactional pattern reveals they value what you provide, not who you are. You're useful to them in certain circumstances, but you're not valued as person independent of that utility. They're networking, not building genuine friendship. Notice when you hear from them. Is it when you can help them, or when they can benefit from associating with you? Or is it consistent regardless of what you can provide? If contact correlates with your utility to them, you're being used, not valued. How to cut them without drama? First, recognize the transactional pattern clearly. They appear when you're useful and disappear when you're not. This is exploitation, not friendship. Second, next time they reach out needing something after long absence, don't provide it. Say you're not available or can't help. Their reaction will reveal everything. If they disappear again immediately, you've confirmed the pattern. Third, stop being available for their needs while they're unavailable for yours. Create distance by no longer being the resource they exploit. Fourth, if they ask why you're distant, be direct. I've noticed you only reach out when you need something or when I'm doing well. That's not friendship. That's using me. I need relationships where people value me consistently, not just when I'm useful. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I protect my peace. 7. Being around them brings out worst version of you. The sign, when you're with them, you gossip more, complain more, engage in behaviors you're not proud of, or act in ways that don't align with who you want to be. The friendship brings out negative patterns in you. You become smaller, meaner, or less authentic version of yourself in their presence. Healthy friendships should bring out your better self. More confident, more authentic, more aligned with your values. Toxic friendships do the opposite. They normalize negative behaviors, encourage destructive patterns, or make you compromise your values to maintain the relationship. Pay attention to who you are in different friendships. Do you like who you become around this person? Or do you engage in gossip, negativity, or behaviors you're not proud of? If the friendship consistently brings out your worst rather than your best, it's harming your character. How to cut them without drama. First, recognize that friendships shaping you into someone you don't want to be need to end. You're becoming worse person by maintaining this connection. Second, create distance by declining invitations and not initiating contact. You don't need to explain that being around them brings out your worst. Just create space to become a better version of yourself. Third, if they ask about the distance, you can be honest without attacking them. I've realized this friendship doesn't bring out my best self. I need relationships that align with who I want to be. Fourth, hold the boundary firmly. Toxic friends often try to minimize your concerns or convince you you're overreacting. Trust your assessment that this friendship is harming your character and needs to end. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. My peace matters more than their comfort. Protect yourself by letting go. So here's what these 7 signs reveal about toxic friendships that need to end. They celebrate your failures and minimize your successes. Every interaction leaves you feeling worse. They violate boundaries repeatedly. They betray your trust and privacy. The friendship is entirely one-directional. They're only around when you're useful. Being around them brings out your worst self. These aren't small issues that can be worked through with better communication. These are fundamental patterns of toxicity that reveal the friendship is harming you. And you don't owe continued friendship to people who consistently harm you, no matter how long you've known them or how much history you share. Cutting toxic friends doesn't require drama, confrontation, or elaborate explanations. It requires recognizing the harm, creating firm distance, and protecting your peace through that distance. Most toxic friendships can end through gradual withdrawal, reduced contact, minimal responses, steady unavailability until the connection naturally fades. Machiavelli would remind you that maintaining harmful relationships out of obligation is self-betrayal, that protecting yourself from toxic influences is wisdom, not cruelty, that your peace, mental health, and well-being matter more than preserving friendships that consistently damage them. If this video showed you signs you've been ignoring and gave you permission to protect yourself, hit that like button. Share it with someone trapped in toxic friendship. Subscribe, because we're teaching you to prioritize your peace over people-pleasing. Now, I want you to drop this final affirmation in the comments. I choose relationships that honor me. Stop tolerating toxicity. Start protecting your peace. Now go remove people who consistently harm you and create space for relationships that actually honor who you are.